Most retirees are doing it all wrong. They're sitting on a goldmine of strategies that could slash their living costs by 50% or more, but they don't even know these tricks exist. While everyone's fighting over the same overpriced retirement destinations that show up on every best places list, smart retirees are quietly discovering towns where $200,000 buys a house, healthcare is world-class, and the tax man basically ignores them. The traditional retirement playbook is dead. Having enough saved doesn't mean anything if you're burning through it in the wrong place. The real winners aren't the ones with the biggest nest eggs, they're the ones who know exactly where and how to stretch every dollar. This video reveals 20 insider tricks that savvy retirees use to find America's hidden low-cost towns. These aren't random cheap places, these are strategic moves that unlock a lifestyle most people think requires millions. Reframe your housing from asset to tool. The biggest retirement expense isn't healthcare or food, it's the roof over your head. Smart retirees are flipping this entire equation by treating their home as a financial tool rather than a trophy. Right now, 40% of tiny homes are occupied by older adults who figured out that downsizing from a 2,500 square foot house to 400 square feet doesn't just cut costs. It releases hundreds of thousands in trapped equity. Take the typical scenario. Sell that $400,000 suburban home, buy a $150,000 smaller place, and suddenly you've got $250,000 to fund the next 20 years. But here's where it gets interesting. Some retirees are keeping their homes and renting out spare rooms, creating monthly income streams of $800 to $1,200. One couple in Oregon turned their basement into an Airbnb, and now their house literally pays for itself. The psychological shift is massive. Once you stop viewing your home as a status symbol and start seeing it as either a cash machine or a cash drain, every other location decision becomes clearer. A retiree who eliminates their $2,000 monthly housing payment has just given themselves a $24,000 annual raise without working a single day. Zero out debt for zero stress. Here's a brutal truth the financial industry won't tell you. Retiring with debt is like trying to swim with concrete boots. The research describes high-interest debt as lighting money on fire, and they're not exaggerating. A retiree carrying $15,000 in credit card debt at 20% interest is bleeding $3,000 a year just to stay afloat. The math is unforgiving. Someone with a $500 monthly debt payment needs an extra $100,000 saved just to service that debt over 20 years. But eliminate that debt before retiring, and suddenly even modest savings become powerful. This isn't about being debt-free for moral reasons, it's pure financial physics. Money flowing to creditors can't flow to you. The liberation goes beyond numbers. Retirees who enter this phase debt-free report dramatically lower stress levels and greater flexibility in choosing where to live. They can pick that $700 a month apartment in Wyoming because they're not sending $700 to Visa. Leverage your passions for an Encore career. The old model where you work until 65, then stop cold is becoming extinct. Modern retirees are discovering what the research calls work that feels like play, monetizing hobbies and passions that don't feel like jobs. A retired accountant in Maine makes $30,000 a year selling handmade furniture online. A former teacher in Arizona brings in $2,000 monthly giving cooking classes from her home kitchen. This isn't about being forced back to work, it's strategic income layering. Even $1,000 monthly from selling photography prints or teaching guitar lessons transforms retirement math. That's $12,000 annually that doesn't have to come from savings, extending your nest egg's lifespan by years. The social benefits multiply the financial ones. These Encore careers provide purpose, community connection, and mental stimulation that pure leisure can't match. Plus, when you're doing something you love, working a few hours feels less like obligation and more like structured fun. Look beyond the lure of affordable cities. Asheville, North Carolina, Bend, Oregon. These cities top every retirement list, and that's exactly the problem. What the research calls the charm tax means these supposedly affordable places are actually budget destroyers in disguise. Sure, housing might cost less than San Francisco, but groceries run 15% above national average. Insurance premiums are inflated, and every restaurant charges tourist prices. The trap works like this. A city gets labeled affordable, retirees flood in, demand spikes, Prices follow. By the time you read about it in a magazine, the opportunity is gone. Meanwhile, that charming downtown you fell in love with becomes a traffic nightmare, and locals resent the influx of outsiders driving up costs. Smart retirees skip these honey traps entirely. They look for the towns that haven't been discovered yet, the ones flying under the radar. The real gold mines are places nobody's writing articles about yet. Find towns and states that don't tax your retirement income. 9 states have figured out the ultimate retiree attraction: no state income tax. Alaska, Florida, Nevada, New Hampshire, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, and Wyoming let you keep every penny of your Social Security and pension. A retiree with $40,000 in annual retirement income saves roughly $2,000 to $3,000 yearly just by crossing the right state line. But here's the advanced move. 4 more states, Illinois, Iowa, Mississippi, and Pennsylvania, have income tax but completely exempt retirement sources like 401ks and IRAs. Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska just eliminated Social Security taxes in 2024, with West Virginia phasing theirs out by 2026. The compound effect is staggering. Move from California to Nevada and you're not just saving on current taxes, you're preserving capital that keeps generating returns. Over 20 years, that tax savings alone could fund several years of retirement. Uncover states with surprisingly low property and sales taxes. Income tax is just one piece of the puzzle. Delaware, Montana, New Hampshire, and Oregon charge 0 sales tax, meaning everything from groceries to cars costs less. Mississippi wins the property tax game with a median bill of just $1,189, followed by Tennessee at $1,400 and Wyoming at $1,659. Wyoming emerges as the Triple Crown winner. No income tax, low property tax, and combined sales tax of just 5.56%. Compare that to New York, where you're hit from every direction and the annual difference reaches $5,000 to $7,000 for the average retiree. The strategic stacking of tax advantages transforms retirement economics. A couple living in Wyoming versus New Jersey might have identical incomes but wildly different lifestyles. One's traveling twice a year, the other's clipping coupons. Prioritize healthcare access and quality, not just cost. Here's the uncomfortable trade-off nobody talks about. Many tax-friendly states have terrible healthcare. West Virginia, Mississippi, and Alabama consistently rank at the bottom for health outcomes, with higher mortality rates and lower care access. Meanwhile, healthcare havens like Rhode Island, Minnesota, and Massachusetts come with hefty tax bills. The decision isn't just financial, it's existential. Save $3,000 annually on taxes but face a 2-hour drive to the nearest cardiac unit? That's Russian roulette with your health. Smart retirees weigh this carefully, often choosing middle ground states that balance reasonable taxes with decent health care. Some solve this by selecting specific cities within problematic states. Even Mississippi has pockets of excellent healthcare near university medical centers. The key is granular research, not state-level generalizations. Search for towns with top-ranked hospitals. World-class medical care exists in unexpected places. The Mayo Clinic isn't in New York, it's in Rochester, Minnesota. Cleveland Clinic sits in affordable Ohio. UF Health Shands Hospital serves Gainesville, Florida, a college town with no state income tax. These medical anchors transform entire regions. A town with a top 100 hospital means access to specialists, cutting-edge treatments, and clinical trials without flying across the country. For retirees, proximity to quality healthcare isn't luxury, it's survival. The presence of these facilities also signals broader community health infrastructure. Rehabilitation centers, specialty pharmacies, medical equipment suppliers. One great hospital creates an entire ecosystem of care. Explore under-the-radar suburbs of major cities. Uniontown, Pennsylvania sits 45 miles from Pittsburgh with median home values of $95,007 and monthly rent at $538. Richmond, Indiana, an hour from Dayton, offers $325,000 homes and rock-bottom healthcare costs. Pflugerville and Cedar Park give you Austin's culture without Austin's prices. This suburban arbitrage strategy exploits economic physics. Major cities create prosperity zones extending 30 to 60 miles outward, but prices drop exponentially with distance. That sweet spot, close enough for occasional city trips, far enough for small-town costs, delivers the best of both worlds. The infrastructure benefits multiply. These suburbs tap into metropolitan healthcare networks, airport access, and cultural amenities while maintaining peaceful, affordable living. Tap into the amenities of college towns. Gainesville, Florida. Winona, Minnesota. These aren't just college towns, they're retirement paradises hiding in plain sight. Universities create self-contained ecosystems of culture, healthcare, and intellectual stimulation that money can't buy elsewhere. The amenities read like a retiree wish list. Free lectures, concerts, theater productions, art exhibitions. Many schools offer reduced or free tuition for seniors. Libraries stay open late. Fitness centers offer senior programs. And campus shuttles provide free transportation. But the real magic is healthcare. University medical centers like UF Health Shands Hospital provide world-class care in otherwise unremarkable towns. Add the energy of young people, diverse dining options, and walkable campuses, and you've found retirement gold. Discover Revitalizing Rust Belt Cities. Tupelo, Mississippi costs 20% below national average and pulses with Elvis history and cultural pride. Kansas City prepares for the 2026 World Cup with streetcar expansions and downtown development. These aren't dying industrial relics, they're cities rewriting their stories. The opportunity lies in timing. Buy into a revitalizing city before the transformation completes, and you ride the appreciation wave while enjoying improving amenities. The infrastructure is already there. Solid buildings, established neighborhoods, transportation networks. It just needs new energy. Crime concerns are real but manageable through careful neighborhood selection. The same city might have both dangerous zones and delightful historic districts. Smart retirees do street-level research, not city-level assumptions. Look for low-cost towns in tax-friendly states. Rawlins, Wyoming delivers the perfect combo. No state income tax plus living costs 20% below national average. Median home value, $205,900. Gainesville, Florida pairs no income tax with college town benefits at $313,000 median home prices. This strategic stacking multiplies savings exponentially. You're not just saving on taxes or housing, you're saving on both simultaneously. The compound effect over 20 years can mean the difference between scraping by and living comfortably. Uncover low-cost lakeside or coastal communities. Forget Lake Tahoe's million-dollar lakefront. Winona, Minnesota sits on the Mississippi River with $228,000 homes and walkable riverfront paths. Menominee, Michigan offers Lake Michigan living at $77,000 median home values. That's not a typo. The secret involves avoiding resort destinations and finding working waterfronts. Fishing towns, river ports, and industrial lakeshores provide water views without luxury premiums. The scenery is identical, only the social scene differs. Water proximity affects more than aesthetics. Lakeside communities often have better air quality, natural cooling in summer, and abundant recreation opportunities. For retirees prioritizing outdoor activities, these locations deliver premium lifestyles at discount prices. Find hidden gems in mountain towns. Deadwood, South Dakota, and Butte, Montana offer mountain living at $168,000 average home values. These aren't Aspen or Vail, they're authentic mountain communities where locals actually live and work. The trade-off is honesty, less après-ski scene, more genuine community. Historic mining towns provide character, outdoor access rivals any resort, and you're not competing with vacation home buyers. Ski slopes, hiking trails, and mountain biking exist without the see and be seen culture. Altitude considerations matter for some retirees. Higher elevations can affect those with respiratory or cardiac conditions. But for healthy seniors, mountain towns offer crisp air, 4 real seasons, and natural beauty that million-dollar resort towns can't monopolize. Look for towns with a high senior population share. Uniontown, Pennsylvania's 21.1% senior population signals something crucial. The infrastructure already exists. Senior centers, medical specialists, accessible transportation. When 1 in 5 residents is over 65, the town has adapted. High senior populations create positive feedback loops. Businesses cater to older customers. Restaurants offer early bird specials. Community events consider mobility limitations. You're not pioneering, you're joining an established ecosystem. The social benefits multiply. Finding friends becomes easier when your demographic dominates. golf partners, book clubs, volunteer opportunities. They're all oriented toward retirees when retirees drive the local economy. Search for towns with comprehensive senior centers and services. Tupelo, Mississippi runs transportation services and meal delivery programs. Rawlins, Wyoming's senior center offers daily activities and communal meals. These aren't just nice extras, they're lifelines that extend independence by years. The presence of robust senior services indicates municipal commitment to aging residents. Towns that invest in Meals on Wheels, medical transport, and senior centers are planning for your long-term residents, not just your tourist dollars. These services also provide crucial social infrastructure. Isolation kills retirees faster than most diseases. Senior centers combat this with structured activities, creating natural friend-making opportunities that don't exist in age-mixed communities. Prioritize walkable and accessible neighborhoods. Future-proofing your retirement means choosing locations that work when you're 85, not just 65. Wide doorways, minimal stairs, maintained sidewalks. These details determine whether you age in place or face forced relocation. Walkability extends independence. When you can walk to groceries, pharmacy, and coffee shops, losing driving privileges doesn't mean losing freedom. Towns designed for pedestrians support aging bodies better than car-dependent suburbs. The health benefits compound. Daily walking maintains mobility, regular social interaction preserves cognitive function, and accessible design prevents falls. The town becomes your gym, therapist, and social club simultaneously. Build your personal amenities checklist. Beyond finances and healthcare lies the stuff that makes life worth living. Need a woodworking shop? Require a community garden? Must have a pool? These aren't luxuries. They're the difference between existing and thriving. Smart retirees list non-negotiables before searching. The perfect tax situation means nothing if you're miserable without your pottery studio or hiking trails. One retiree rejected 3 financially perfect towns because none had pickleball courts. And she was right to do so. The checklist prevents post-move regret. That charming town loses charm fast when you realize the nearest Thai restaurant is 100 miles away and you're addicted to pad Thai. Know yourself, honor your needs, choose accordingly. Stay connected to family and friends. The research states it plainly. Money and family are the biggest things for retirees. All the financial optimization in the world won't compensate for isolation from loved ones. The cheapest town becomes expensive when you're flying grandkids in for visits. Some retirees solve this by choosing locations within driving distance of family, close enough for spontaneous visits, far enough for independence. Others cluster with friends, creating chosen family communities in affordable locations. The ultimate trick isn't finding the cheapest place, it's finding the right balance of affordability and connection. A slightly more expensive town near family beats a bargain basement location in social Siberia. Your nest egg might last longer in isolation, but what's the point of a long life lived alone? The retirement game has fundamentally changed. Success isn't about accumulating massive wealth, it's about strategic geographic arbitrage combined with lifestyle optimization. These 20 tricks aren't just money-saving tactics, they're a complete reimagining of what retirement can be. The patterns are clear. The Midwest and South offer dramatic cost advantages, but healthcare quality often suffers. Tax-friendly states attract retirees but sometimes lack infrastructure. College towns provide culture at reasonable prices. Revitalizing cities offer opportunity for those willing to pioneer. Every choice involves trade-offs, but informed retirees make those trades consciously rather than accidentally. The winners in this new retirement landscape aren't the wealthiest. They're the most strategic. They've learned that a $200,000 nest egg in Rawlins, Wyoming, delivers more lifestyle than $500,000 in San Diego. They've discovered that happiness comes not from having the most, but from needing the least. Most importantly, they've realized that finding the right place isn't luck, it's method.